everybody. We're going to have a practice today that is going to clear all of our chakras. I'm going to try to hit every single one of the chakras in this practice and maybe hopefully get a little bit of balance for us. So we're going to start off in a seated position, and I'm just going to keep my notes handy. If you need any blocks or props, please have those easily accessible. We're going to start off just with some neck circles. Breathing in and breathing out as we come down. Opening up that throat. If you haven't reversed, go ahead and reverse the circles now. Taking it nice and slow. You can have your eyes closed or just soften your gaze. Next time you come back up, we're going to inhale, reach our arms up overhead, and exhale, we'll set our right arm down and our left arm over, getting a side body twist, or side bend to the right. Opening up our left side body and spiraling our heart up toward the ceiling. Now you can be here, or you can bend a little deeper into the stretch here, but just make sure that your sit bones are rooted firmly to the mat. On your next inhale, reach up with both arms, and exhale, we'll take it to the left. Really spiraling that heart open. You can, this is good for the solar plexus and your heart chakra. Your gaze can be forward, or you can look up toward your hand. Inhale, bring our arms up overhead, really stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, we'll bring our hands to our knees. Now we're going to do a little bit of shoulder circles here. Shrugging those shoulders up towards your ears and letting them fall down. Getting rid of that tension in the neck. Inhale, shrug them up. Exhale, let them drop. Each time you drop your shoulders, see if you can let something go. Working out the kinks in the neck and the shoulders. You can even work your neck a little bit more if you need to. I kind of feel like I need to today. And when we keep our hands on our knees now, we're going to do some seated cat-cows. So we're going to inhale and bring our chest forward as we look up toward the sky. And inhale in, and exhale, we'll round through the back, tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round through the back. Inhale up toward the ceiling. Exhale back. Do a few more of those. We can invite some gentle movement, maybe even go in some circles as we inhale forward and exhale around through the back. Inhale forward, exhale directions. Back to center, and we're going to make our way through to our hands and knees tabletop position. While you're here, you can just find some movement, maybe twist over one side and then the other, and just opening up the back. We're going to come up on our knees if that's not okay with you, and if your knees are hurting, you can always double up on the mat to make a little more padding under your knees. So we're just going to come up here, and we're going to start to bend backwards. Maybe this is how far you can go today. We're going to try to come into a camel pose. Really shining your throat, your heart up. Make sure you're not leaning back, but just go as far as you can today. Make sure your legs stay straight. Breathing into that back body. And then we'll start to come back up. And we're going to take our right leg, pull that quad up. Maybe get a little bit of a quad stretch here. Now we'll set our foot back down gently. No boomerangs here. Gently set our foot back down on the ground and come to the other side. Gently set your left foot down. Come to your hands and knees, tabletop. We're going to tuck our toes and send it back to our first down dog. In this down dog, you can pedal it out, stretch out those hamstrings, really try to spiral your upper arm bones toward the ceiling. Your eyes of your elbows are toward the ceiling. It'll create a lot more room in your shoulders. Just settle in here for about 3 more breaths. And a kitten. We're going to bend our knees, start to look forward. You can float or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, your arms come down and come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. And we'll be here for a second. Maybe shake your head a little yes, a little no. Ragdoll your arms, grabbing opposite elbows, if that feels good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll plant the palms and we'll step back to plank or half plank. And we will move through vinyasa. So you have options here to lower all the way to the belly and come to cobra pose, or you can chaturanga to upward facing dog. Then exhale back to down dog. And at any point in time, if you feel like you don't want to do the vinyasa, you can either come to child's pose and then meet us in down dog, or go straight to down dog. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step on through. And we're going to rise up to Warrior One. Warrior One is a very grounding pose. It's great for our root chakras. Let's take our chance, take a chance and settle in here. And remember, if you feel like you're on a tightrope here, you can always widen your stance for a little more balance. Really making sure that your front knee is over front ankle. You're grounding into that back foot. And you're pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. You're going to knit your upper ribs down. Those arms up to the ceiling. Our next inhale, we're going to start to drop our arms and interlace the fingers behind our back. We're going to come down for Humble Warrior. So maybe you stop right here. This is great to tone your core. But if you feel so inclined, you can drop your crown of your head towards your mat. Maybe towards your kitten. Breathing deep. On an inhale, we'll rise up. Arms back up to Warrior One. Exhale, we're going to open up to Warrior Two. And I'm going to switch around because I was facing the back of the mat, and you can't see me. We're going to ground into this Warrior Two, making sure that front knee is over front ankle, looking over those fingertips, the right fingertips, knitting those ribs down. And then we're going to start to straighten through the front leg and bring our hands to our hips. We're going to take our toes wide and we're going to settle in to Goddess pose. You can cactus your arms. You can leave them on your hips. You can put them up. Whatever feels comfortable to you today. Just breathe. Make sure that you're not leaning forward, but really have that back straight, shining the front of you up toward the sky. As we inhale, you can lift our right heel. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift our left heel. Exhale, lower. Inhale, maybe lift both. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to come to a Skandasana, the back of the mat. So start to bend into that left knee. And this one's a little hard to get out of for me sometimes. So I'm going to use my hands to come back. We'll settle back into our Goddess pose. And then come to Crescent Lunge. Plant our palms, step back to plank or half plank, belly to cobra or chaturanga to up dog, and we'll meet in down dog. Pedal it out here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left leg raises. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, left leg raises. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, left leg raises. Exhale, step it on through. And rise up to warrior one. Take the chance to settle in here. Get comfortable, make sure your stance is somewhere that you can feel comfortable. Knit those ribs down. Open up through the shoulders. Make sure you're not crunching in here. And on an exhale, we'll take our hands to the back and line up for humble warrior. Maybe take your opposite index finger on top this time, the one that feels a little funky, and come down for humble warrior. Remembering not to throw our arms up over our head, but keeping them down toward the back. When we do this, it hyperextends our shoulders, and I'm guilty of doing that one too many times in the past. Inhale, we'll start to rise back up. Come back up for warrior one. Exhale, back to warrior two. Again, I'm going to switch around. Front knee over front ankle, really pressing into the back edge of that back foot. Eyes over our front fingertips. And then we're going to bring our hands to our hips. Turn both of our feet out and go down into goddess pose again. Remember, you do not have to raise your arms. You can keep them on your hips if that feels better to you. I'm going to cactus mine. Inhale, we'll raise the right heel. Exhale, lower. Inhale, raise the left heel. Exhale, lower. Inhale both. Exhale, lower. We're going to come to a Skandasana on the other side of the mat, the back side. Now this one's a little more funky for me. Sometimes I have to lift my back heel because my balance just is not there yet on this side. And you might even be up here. That's okay. I was like here for a really long time without falling over. And I'm still getting there. You can use your hands to come back out of Skandasana if you need. We'll sit back low into goddess pose. And then we're going to turn our back toes and rise up into crescent. Really knitting those ribs down, feeling those legs turn on. I feel a little shake. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to plank or half plank. And move through your vinyasa of choice. And we'll meet in down dog. And now we're going to plant our knees on the mat, open them up wide, and maybe sit for a few breaths and find our breath in child's pose. Child's pose is great for your third eye, chakra. Maybe roll your forehead on the mat a little bit. Looking into your third eye. I'm going to start to move up, come up. And we're going to move into a plank pose. And press back to down dog. Paddle it out. Bend the knees. Step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. And take a few breaths here. Just grounding into Tadasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plank the palms. Move through your vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog. We're going to inhale our right leg up to the ceiling. And exhale, we're going to start to turn over for a wild thing. Spiraling that heart up toward the ceiling, opening up that throat. Breathing into the right side body. Then we'll start to turn on our left foot, coming back to three-legged dog, and then moving through a vinyasa of choice. And we will meet in down dog. Inhale, we'll lift the left leg up and start to turn for a wild thing. On the left side, on the right side, with the left leg. Start to turn into those right toes, coming back for a three-legged down dog. Moving through your vinyasa. We're going to inhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Now we're going to do a few balancing poses. I'm going to come to the middle of the mat here. You can stay at the front of the mat if that is good for you. We're going to work our sacral chakra with the dancer's pose. Now, what we're going to start with is our hands at heart center, and we're going to bring our right leg up for a one-legged Tadasana. Grounding into our left foot. Maybe you can take some ankle circles here. And we're going to start to bring our right leg behind us. Maybe grab it with our right hand. If that feels good to you, you think you got your balance, you think you can do this, maybe moving to the inner arch of that right foot. And you can have your hand, your left hand on your hip for this, or you can have it up in front of you. We're going to start to lean forward and bringing, find your drishti. Take yourself less seriously. I'm already starting to shake. Find a point to focus on. Now we're going to start to come out. Don't just fall back out of the pose. We'll come back out. Hands at heart center, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale in and exhale. Put our foot down and shake it out a little bit. We're going to come into the other side. So we're going to move our weight into our right foot. Lift our left leg. Maybe hands at heart. Maybe hands on your hips. Maybe do some circles with our ankle. And then we're going to start bringing it back and catching it with our left hand. If that feels good, maybe moving it to the inner arch. Your left foot, just remember that if you did this yesterday, but you're falling today, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It means it's just today. You might be able to do it perfectly tomorrow. And this side could be different from the other side. Find your drishti and maybe kick back out. Finding your ujjayi breath and breathing deeply. Coming back down. Back to that one-legged Tadasana. Inhale in, exhale. Drop that left leg. Great job. That's a hard one. Next, we're going to do another balancing pose. We're going to work our root chakra again. We're going to come into some eagle pose. So there are a lot of options for eagle. I'm going to do pretty much full binds, but you don't have to do that. You can bind with however much you feel comfortable. With our legs, we're going to bring our arms into eagle arms. So I'm going to take my arms wide and I cross the right over the left. And you might be here, but I am bringing my palms together and I'm making sure that my arms are lifted. It's my cats, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm making sure my arms are lifted. I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to bring my weight into my right foot. I'm going to cross my leg and maybe you might be here. And that's okay. I'm going to cross my left foot around my right shin and keep my arms up. Now you really have to find a focal point here. Eagle, there's not much else to think about besides I need a balance. This is a great pose to come to if you need all the thoughts out of your head. Because all you can think about is balancing in this pose. Inhale, we'll start to come up and unravel. Exhale, we'll drop our arms and our legs. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Oh, ready for the other side. Inhale, the arms up. And now I'm going to bring my right arm, or my left arm over my right. And then my right leg over my left. And sit low. See? I'm trying to think too much. And don't worry, if you fall, we all fall too. Just get right back up and right back into the pose. Inhale, we'll come up and unravel. Exhale. We'll catch our breath as we ground into Tadasana. can soften your gaze or close your eyes. Really root into those four corners of your feet. Catch your breath. And we're going to come to the mat. We're going to have a seat on the mat. And we're going to come up into boat pose. So you'll sit here and then come back with a straight back into a boat. Now maybe you stay here, working your abs, working your core, that's fine. Maybe take your arms out. Feeling that shake. Maybe you have your toes on the mat even. A little rest. Come back to boat pose. Shining that solar plexus up toward the ceiling. Maybe you take a full boat pose. And then we'll come down, maybe rest our head on our knees for a minute. Crossing our legs and coming through to a tabletop position. We're going to come into pigeon on our right side. Now, if pigeon is not accessible to you from the mat, you can always do a figure four pigeon stretch on your back. So what that looks like is you'll be on your back. You'll have your right leg over top of your left. You'll be pulling in with your hands are interlaced behind the back of your knee, pulling in, keeping both feet active. For everyone else, we'll go into our pigeons from tabletop position. So we're going to inhale, reach our right leg back. Exhale, we're going to bring it up through right knee to right wrist. Inhale, we're going to keep shining our heart up toward the ceiling. Remembering not to open our throat like this because you stop the line of energy here. I want to make sure it's radiating through the crown of your head. Inhale up, and exhale, we'll start to fold forward. And then you can always, if you can't sink into this pose, you can always have a block under your right hip for support as well. Next inhale, begin to rise up. Plant your palms. Tuck your left toes underneath you and come back to a tabletop position. And now if you have your back, or you're on your back right now doing figure four pigeon, you can switch to the other side. We're going to inhale, our left leg back and up. And exhale, we'll bring our left knee to our left wrist. Tucking our right toes under. Shining our heart up toward the ceiling. Inhale in, exhale, fold forward. Breathing into our hips. Avoiding any clenching. Inhale, we'll start to push back up. Now we'll tuck the back toes and come back for tabletop position. We're going to sit back down. Bring your knees on through. We're going to sit back down. And we're going to bring our legs, or our feet to the mat. And roll back one vertebrae at a time to our backs. We're going to come to bridge pose. So bring your heels to where your fingertips can touch them. Making sure that your legs are closer together and not splayed out. Really hugging them together. Bring your lower back to the flush with the mat. We're going to inhale, start to rise up. Stay for a breath. And on our next exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Hold. Exhale, lower. You can always bring a block to the middle of your legs to squeeze them together. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. We're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze those glutes. 4, 3, 2, lower on the 1. And you can always come into restorative bridge as well, which is taking a block and coming up into bridge pose and placing it under your sacrum. And from here, you can do all sorts of fun things. Bring your legs up. This is great for lowering the blood pressure. You can bicycle the legs. And if plow poses in your practice, you can start coming to plow or supported plow. Bringing your toes to the floor. Making sure you don't crunch the neck. The neck is straight. As you look up toward your legs or the ceiling. Not crunching into the spine, but keeping a straight back, or as straight as possible. If there's any tension on your neck, come right out of this pose. And if the shoulder stand is in your practice, you can also come to shoulder stand. Making sure that neck stays long and you're not crunching into your neck. The weight should be in the shoulders, not in your neck. And to come out of shoulder stand, you'll start coming back down to plow. Rolling back down. Maybe you're still in supported or restorative bridge. That is great. Either way, we're going to drop our feet, lift our sacrum, and take our block out from underneath us and lay flush with the mat. We're going to start to windshield wiper the legs one way and the other. Bringing our arms out to our sides or cactusing them. Next time your legs fall to the left, leave them there and start to gaze over your right shoulder. Cooling down and preparing for Shavasana. Inhale, bring the legs through center, and exhale, let them fall to the right, and your gaze is over your left shoulder. Towards your dog, maybe. Inhale, we'll bring our legs back through center. Bring our arms next to our sides. Lay our legs out long. And coming in for our final pose, Shavasana. Get situated into the mat so you can relax, maybe snuggle the shoulder blades underneath you. Letting everything go. Maybe looking up into your third eye or your crown. It's great for your crown chakra. Letting go of all the tension in your face, in your neck. All the tension in your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Relaxing through your belly and your pelvis, and your legs and your feet. Finding stillness. movement into your fingers and your toes. Rolling on to your left side or your right side. Taking your hands and pushing yourself back up. And finding a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me today and practicing with me on my first practice recorded. So I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope it was relaxing for you, and I hope it challenged you, and maybe you're a little more open and you can take that openness with you to the rest of the day. Thank you very much.